warm up that voice, get your stuff together before you walk in there, so that it doesn't sound like at least what it sounded to me, or what it sounded to us, where it was like, you can hold a note, but I don't know if y'all both holding the same note or if they even go together with the note y'all holding, right?
Right. Because Q only gets you so far.
Actually, don't get you too far, if we're honest.
Sex sells, so we can't say sex doesn't sell. So that's what I'm saying. But I hear what you're saying.
Yes.
I hear what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it right there. All right. All right, so welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
This is Conversations with the Crawlers. We have conversations about faith, family, relationships, and we do recaps, reviews, and commentaries on some of our favorite shows. This one is all about family or fiancé, and the couple this week is Shai and Troy, or Shai and Troy.
Shai. Mm-hmm.
So if this is content that you enjoy, y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, request notifications,
and share.
And we'll see you in the comments. And why aren't you a member yet? All right, we'll talk about that at the end,
but join.
It's good. All right, so Shai and Troy. She's 24. He's 29. She's a singer. He's an actor.
/ teacher by day.
Yep. / police cadet, as we find out as well. Potential police cadet. He slid in her DMs.
Mm-hmm.
He was like on IG or whatever.
However they slide nowadays.
He was sliding. He was slipping and sliding in.
Slipping and sliding.
And she was like, well, we don't really want to go on a date. Just come over and watch a movie. He's like, but that's a date.
She called it Netflix and chilling. That's what she said?
Yeah.
Didn't she say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just repeating what the young lady said. I mean, I don't know if for some stranger, I'm just going to let him over my place. But I guess she felt like through their conversations, he was friendly enough.
Yes. As far as going to her place. Because our first date was, you came over to where I was at.
I did. You didn't look threatening.
I think that's a good thing then. Yep. All right. I'm that non-threatening black man.
Right. The non-threatening black man.
Yes.
He's gonna cook, so all right, go ahead.
I did. I hooked up with the
spaghetti,
mm-hmm. Garlic bread.
You did it right. I ate a couple pieces of garlic bread.
I did it. You got a hook that day. We was engaged that day.
We were not engaged that day.
Before there was a family or fiance.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, because it was already,
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
It would have been more interesting.
Because our family didn't mean it to our wedding date.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Woo. Thank God.
We might have to tell that story. We keep saying it. We might have to do that.
We have to tell that story.
But their concerns, they acknowledge that their family concerns are that they need to be more mature, and it's too soon. They're moving too fast.
Correct. So it was 6 months into their relationship when proposed, but right after they met, pretty much he moved in.
Well, no, he moved in 2 months before.
Exactly, but they've been together.
Right, he moved in 2 months before they got engaged.
Right, but it was only 6 months they've been together.
Right.
So,
yeah,
right after they met, shortly after, they were living together. Yeah. And then 2 months later, they were engaged.
Yeah. And they
still 6 months.
Now, what's unique is, I just find interesting, they have the same birthday.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's kind of crazy.
So, yeah, especially if you're into astronomy, when we're talking about your characteristics of who you are as individuals, like they mirror each other.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, astronomy-wise.
Astrology,
whatever.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So, but he ain't really asked anybody about getting married to her. He asked her grandmother if that was going to be okay, if that was cool.
If you already can't ask the mother and she has a twin, so that's another person that has the same birthday as him, can I marry your sister?
Y'all gifts going to stink. Ain't nobody getting good gifts.
Nobody getting no gifts for birthday. Everybody getting the same gift.
You get the same thing.
For
you share your birthday with your wife.
Right.
Every year.
Every year.
Like, and your sister-in-law.
Right. Like, we just have a party, like, and you just say happy birthday to everybody. You put the same, well, at least they're different years. I guess you could put 29, 24th, 24th.
That's weird. So, and, you know, her sister found out through social media.
Which I don't like. My sister did something similar to me. I was like, chick, I thought y'all weren't even together anymore than you're engaged. So it's an issue when people put stuff on social media and the last time you checked in with them, they were doing this. And then all of a sudden life had passed in 2 months and all of a sudden something else happened without you following up.
Yes, but sometimes it can be taken too far because I remember when we signed to get our house, we had gone looking for a house. We found a builder that we were going to use. And we signed paperwork like that same day. It was like it just happened. So I put it on Facebook, and all of a sudden I'm getting calls from relatives like, "Oh, you can't tell us that you're getting a house? It just happened 5 minutes ago."
Like literally. Like you gave me
the brakes.
Right. Like you knew we live here, so we knew we
needed
were
to find a place. So it's gonna happen one way or the other. It's not like I bought the house, we moved in, had a housewarming party, and then I decided to tell you. All right. So anyway, but he talks to his mother every day.
I don't have any problem with him talking to his mother every day.
I don't.
If you have a good communication and good relationship with your parents, I'm saying parents because she's still wearing a ring from what I can tell. So he has a mother and a father. So okay, I was like at the beginning when he says that he talks to his mom every day, that's awesome. Great.
And I mean, if we're honest, the way a man treats his mother is a good indication of how he'll treat his wife.
Right.
Ideally.
Right?
So if he respects his mother, if he has a good relationship with her, that might be a good thing to be like, okay, you can see that, right?
Yeah, you can see it come across with any other women in his life.
True. So his mom and 2 of his aunts are coming on his side. Her mom, her sister, and her uncle are coming on her side. And surprise, surprise, the families have never met.
Again, obviously there's a red flag there. Every time the show comes on, none of the families met. So that means there's some miscommunication or something they don't want to tell the families for whatever reason. It's a red flag.
Yeah. And then we find out they were during their dating period, he disappeared for like 2 weeks.
Oh.
And then came back and was like, "Oh, I just had a baby and I didn't know how to communicate that."
Is that what he was saying?
Yes.
I didn't know he had disappeared for 2 weeks.
She said he disappeared for like 2 weeks.
I missed that. Yeah. I knew he said, I didn't know how to tell you I was having a baby. But he knew she was pregnant while he was dating her, the other chick.
Evidently. He at least knew where to show up. And he has full custody now.
And that's what I'm like, I don't understand that.
Yeah,
because normally a mother wouldn't give up full custody, but
unless there were other issues going on.
Unless there was something else going on where she had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that part. Woo.
Yeah. So they have the family meeting, and of course, Tracy gives the assignments, which is answer questions and let the family ask questions.
Like communicate like they should have done before they got there.
So in the family meeting,
it's about 5-year plans.
Well, the family meeting is just as far as the blessing first,
gotcha.
Whether or not what their concerns are. So the sister's like, "Y'all, it's too soon."
I just met.
And then she's like, "And I got another bone to pick with you. You left me out of the engagement and the wedding plans. And I still got another bone to pick with you. What about our singing career? What's happening with that? Don't get distracted. We got to be on American Idol and The Voice next week. So what's going on with that?"
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Uncle's like, "Okay, I'm cool, but how y'all gonna provide? Because both of y'all got dreams.
And them dreams don't pay." When you got dreams that don't pay, Lord Jesus.
What dreams cost. And right here is where you start paying with sweat. Put in the comments if you know what movie that's from. All right.
Doing movie trivia.
Hey, we do it all on this channel. And then the mom's like, yo, it's too soon. Y'all are immature.
Give it some time.
Y'all still babies. Y'all don't know what y'all doing.
Y'all still in Disneyland. This is all fantasy.
Then on his side, mom's like, oh, it's too soon. No reason to rush. Pump your brakes. Slow down.
Where you going?
One of the aunts is like, slow down. And you don't know if you have potential baby mama drama. It's still new. Figure that out. If there's baby mama drama that you're going to have to be involved with. And then the other aunt is saying, well, y'all need to communicate effectively because I've seen some issues and I want to make sure y'all are communicating properly.
Right. Is that the same person that was talking about people getting divorced?
Yes.
And it affects more than just them.
Yes.
It affects both of their families.
Absolutely.
And everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. Because now everything has been together for so long and now trying to, break all that apart.
Yep.
It could be challenging.
Absolutely. So their assignment is to discuss the 5-year plans. Where do they see themselves in 5 years? How are they going to get there? What have you? His mom is asking first about religion. She's like, what's that? And I guess he's of the Catholic faith, or at least the mom is.
Yeah, the mom is, because he don't go to church. That's what she said.
Yeah.
The girlfriend. Scott was like, we're not visiting any churches.
Yeah, we're going to find a church sometime soon, eventually, maybe.
And she said, I'm Christian, but she's like, I don't want a traditional wedding. I want it to be like maybe at a vineyard or something. Yep.
So that was a red flag for mom.
Yeah.
She had a little conniption about that. And then she was like, oh, by the way, how do you feel about Troy being a police officer? Excuse me?
See, because I would probably try to prime her, because if my son come to me in confidence about something, I would kind of want to just fill it out. Like, has he shared anything else about his career choices or some other options? And if she's like, no, this is it. Okay. Then I would have gone to him and said, did you talk to her about this police thing? Because again, if you're being the mother that's saying I'm being loving, also it's about covering so that your son doesn't look bad.
Right.
Giving him the opportunity to share that, but from you to just blurt it out, you're making your intentions known. I'm priority.
Yes.
Let me tell you about.
Yes.
You
that's
talking
exactly
about,
what it was.
You talking about, what they call pissing is telling what your territory is.
Yeah, marking her territory.
Marking territory. That's how that came off. And so then she's in shock. She's kind of like put off. Like, what? No, we never talked about this.
And as far as when he took the test, because he took the test, he took the physical test. He just has to take, I guess, the written exam. And she's like, oh, wait, when did all this happen? Last week.
Like he found out he passed. That means he had to do at least a week before. It takes a while for them to get results.
So it's not
back.
like it happened before they got together and this is lingering. No, it's active right now, and he hadn't told her anything about it.
And that this is really serious. And Mom's like, well, this is kind of really serious. He's really thinking about being a police officer.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, you have to take in effect, he's being a police officer. This is a dangerous job.
Yep.
Right? There are people that do need to be locked up and put to jail.
Yes.
So it's interesting how they haven't even had a chance to really think through
what that's going to look like for them as a couple. Like,
how much insurance do I need to have on you? Like, you could go and don't come back.
Right.
So.
Yeah. He also, now, because the concern, even aside from that, when he was talking to her family, was, okay, you're acting, but
how do you pay the bills for real?
When the Oscar Mayer Wiener commercial doesn't work out, what do you do after that, right?
And he indicates he's a teacher.
He teaches autistic kids, right?
So which is good. Like, he has something
steady, to fall back, something to fall back and steady on him.
Yeah, right? Some steady income.
Yeah. So the sister again brings up that, you know, you didn't include me in all of this. I'm a twin, so therefore I should be included in all of that. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that, what have you. I get that, and I think that, but I think that the sister also needs to realize that, yeah, things are going to be changing and shifting. So you won't be in everything that happens. Your twinness, and I don't have a twin, but your twinness at some point moves into individuality.
You have to have boundaries, right? Yeah. There's a connection that we hear about twins that are very deep.
Yes.
And so we know there's going to be that attachment to them. But also you have to create boundaries. There's going to be a grieving process that you're not maybe going to be able to see her every day.
Yep.
Or, you know, you are going to do things separate from each other because she has a priority, and that's him.
Yes.
And that's why when she's talking about the music career, it sounds like you really need to have a good conversation with your sister. Like, is this still your major dream?
And is it still viable? Right?
Because
is it still viable?
We know celebrities now that have picked their children over being on the road and made decisions that they want to have children and maybe put their career on the back burner. And we talking about well-known, make lots of money, deciding that having a family and spending time for that, then bringing kids on the road and you're on stage hours late at night, you're not able to take care of them the way you would want in a regular family.
And it also begs the question, or at least has to be dealt with, as far as what level do you think you're going to be at, and how does that look, right? If you're thinking that you're the next Beyonce or the next, for example, if we're talking about sister acts, Halle and Chloe, right? If you're thinking that's who you all are, you'd probably be further along in your music career now than, you know, especially if you've been working at this for years, than maybe you are, or what they appear to be, right?
It just depends, right?
But then also we're in a time right now where signing to a major record deal,
it's not happening.
Or it doesn't even need to happen.
That's true.
You know, true. With the ability to do things social and YouTube and
iCloud.
So, you know, all
people
those things.
Selling their stuff without waiting for a record deal.
I mean, Ludacris and Master P are prime examples of one selling out the trunk and doing things their own way. So I get that, yes, that's the dream, that's the goal. But if it's really the dream and that's the goal, how far outside the box are you willing to go?
Yeah, because a lot of those deals are garbage deals to start with.
Absolutely.
And so, do you want to be chained where you get $100,000 and then all the other money goes right back into the record company and the producer?
Blow up like TLC and be broke. Be excited you got a geo tracker.
You don't want to be on that documentary.
No. Okay. So. Or who is it? New Edition, who got... I'm mad about New Edition getting robbed out of all their deals.
And I'm not their mother.
I love New Edition. That was my group growing up. I'm mad for them.
That's modern day slavery.
I'm mad for them.
Just drop them off in the ghetto again.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. All right. So also she wants 5 kids. She says she wants...
That's the other thing.
And how you gonna have 5 kids and a viable music singing career?
You better make a lot of money because you're gonna need some nannies. Like, again, that's really... Is it possible?
It's possible,
It
yes.
is possible, but at what level of being a parent are you planning to be at 5 kids on the road singing? You got to stay nights in the studio trying to create music, and you have to be on their timing. So a lot of that, to my understanding, happens at night. It's not a daytime thing. So I think she still needs to really think that through.
Yeah.
If 5 kids.
Yeah. So then they all have dinner and they recap, of course, their conversations. And, you know, basically if the question comes up, okay, what happens if the babies come sooner than later? And she's like, we'll just make it happen. We'll just do it, what have you. And it's like, okay, all right.
Someone needs to give her she does. They have a baby. Because if he has full custody, that means the baby's living with them.
Right. but multiply that, add 5 to that.
That's what I'm saying. Because at first I was like, well, maybe she need to have a baby, but she does.
Right.
She has a full-time child right now.
Right.
And he says that she's really good with their daughter. I believe it's a little girl. So, but you have to multiply that.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with having a big family.
No.
You know, people sometimes are tripping because of I'm not talking about the amount. I'm just talking about the time it takes. Even we had kids spread out, and it still took time to be able to, whatever level our oldest was at, whatever our youngest level was, and being able to combine things and do things individually with them. It took time.
Yeah. I mean, running from football games to academic Olympics and all of that stuff. Yeah.
And sometimes we had to separate. Sometimes we couldn't even be together to see the other person's event. I'll take this person, you take that person.
Yep. And then Shai brings up, she's like, oh, I hear you want to be a police officer.
You want to be a police.
So y'all want to be a cop. Okay. And he's like,
Right. And then Mother's like,
Mother's sitting over there like, what do they say, the cat who ate the canary? She just sitting there like grinning like, yep, I got one up on you.
right.
And he's like surprised that she knows. Talks about she took it a week ago, and she's like, I just didn't know, right? And so this again shows some of their communication issues, that he doesn't share things with her, right? And so then she gets up from the table and she says she feels that she shares everything with him, but he doesn't share everything with her.
And I understand her feeling that way.
Yep.
You know, you want, especially if it's important to you. If you're saying this is important to you, and she says, it's not about you sharing it with her, it's that you never shared with me.
Right.
She's like, hear me. That's your mom. Something great happened. You shared it with her. Awesome.
Right.
But why take away from the fact that I would like to be a part of that too? So when you tell the story, I'm left out of the story.
Yeah.
And anyone be like, well, where was your wife in all this? Oh yeah, I just let her know after I came home with the uniform, like with the gun and the badge. Like, so when were you gonna tell her? After you passed the written, like, oh, by the way,
after you write your first ticket,
right? Like you pull her over in the cop car, like
because yes, there are times where yes, you want to surprise your spouse, you want to surprise your partner, you want to surprise your significant other, but there are some things you surprise people with, and there's some things that you don't surprise people with.
Especially you talking about doing a dangerous job. How about taking my feelings in account that this is a dangerous job? Yeah. That me and my my six kids.
Well, yeah, our 6 kids together. Yep.
The 6 kids that we have will be. I'll be a single mom with 6 kids if some, God forbid. But again, potentially something could happen to you and you're going to leave me with 6 kids. Yep. We need to talk about the fact that you want to become something that's a dangerous job.
Right. So day 2, they have their check-in. And she's like, Tracy, I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't understand. They bring up the police officer issue. She talks about how she understands the mother-son dynamic, and Tracy's like, that ain't what that is. That's not what this is. He gets really wordy. He starts just stringing words together, but saying nothing. And the therapist is like, look, let's just be honest. The reason you didn't tell her is because you didn't want to have the conversation with her. You didn't tell her because you didn't want her to know. You wanted to take the opportunity for her to speak on it away from her. And he says, well, you know, it's hard to talk sometimes because I don't feel like I'm being heard. Here's what I like Tracy. Tracy
be like, she be coming for the jugular.
She was like, no, it's not that you're not being heard. You just don't like what she got to say. You don't like her opinion on it. So therefore now you say you don't feel like you're being heard. Tracy was like, I'm calling you on your garbage all throughout this session here.
Oh my gosh. And she was like, yep. You know, and she was like, and the young lady, you know, Sky is just like, I don't have any problem with the mother. I don't have any problem telling her.
And Tracy's like, yes, you do.
You do. You're not priority. You're not number one. She's like, yep, I'm number one. Like, girl, I need you to wake up. You're more about trying to keep a relationship that you're not really having with him.
Right.
Because just because y'all together,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not sharing,
Right.
doesn't make sure that this is an even playing field.
Absolutely.
So how are we going to make sure this is going to be an even playing field? You're talking about making a lifetime commitment that you are picking each other in this.
So she's like, okay, here's your assignment. She's like, because right now, y'all are not rooted in reality. She's like, y'all got all these dreams. Y'all got you want to be a singer. He wants to be an actor. Y'all living in La La Land. Y'all need to. And she was like, at least he's dipped his toe in reality by moving towards being a police officer. So the assignment that she gives them is, she's like, okay, she's setting Shai up and with her sister to go talk to a producer so that they can kind of talk through whether they even have the talent or skills to do it, and what that looks like. And then he's got to have a conversation with his mama. He got to talk to his mama. So Shai meets with her sister and the producer. What was his name? Ollie Roots A16. I don't know who he is, but okay. And he's like, okay, now, I don't know what y'all thought, but when they started singing,
Something was off. I'm just being honest. I don't know if it was the boom mic coming on top of them, and I don't feel like he was being totally truthful. Now, she indicates he gave feedback, like things that they should know.
eye contact and
Eye contact. And he was talking about harmonies. He's like, y'all harmonies needs to be real clear and precise.
Right.
And so if they're supposed to say that they're following a music career, who's managing them? Who's giving them, like, these are the things you need to work for stage presence?
And here's the thing, I was never professionally singing or anything like that. I did a lot of choirs and a lot of groups and what have you. I know that there is a challenge in coming cold and singing, right? Y'all have heard me sometimes on here. I start off key when I do my little snippet, right? But if you're meeting with the producer, warm up that voice, get your stuff together before you walk in there, so that it doesn't sound like at least what it sounded to me, or what it sounded to us, where it was like, you can hold a note, but I don't know if y'all both holding the same note or if they even go together with the note y'all holding, right?
Right. Because Q only gets you so far.
Actually, don't get you too far, if we're honest.
Sex sells, so we can't say sex doesn't sell. So that's what I'm saying. But I hear what you're saying.
Yes.
I hear what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it right there. All right. But he goes and he meets with his mom. And he's like, Shai doesn't feel like she's number one. So I got to rearrange this order. And the mom was like, girlfriends come and go. Fiancés come and go. I've been together with you for 29 years.
That don't sound right.
So
that don't sound right. You had him. You
29
gave
years
birth,
ago.
And now he is a 29-year-old man. But you making it out, it sound like you're in a 29-year relationship.
Yes.
That's what it sound like. Am I mistaken? The way
Not
she
at
put
all.
that?
Not at
she
all.
made that sound like that.
Yes.
When that's not the case. You
She
gave birth.
She don't know what we've been through. Hold on. You were the adult. You were the parent.
Right.
Whatever you went through was to, yes, provide for your child. He went through that as a result of what you were doing as his parent and what you had to do in order to provide for him.
As an adult. But right. He was a kid.
But he's now an adult who is forging his own life in his own path.
Yeah.
Basically, what she was saying was that umbilical cord that they cut at the hospital,
it was still attached.
She reattached that joker.
And I think that's very unfortunate, because do you have to grieve your children becoming adults? Yes, we've done it twice.
Right.
And I feel like we
And
talk more.
now, neither one of them are married.
No.
But if there's someone that enters their life.
Right. They have been in relationships. They've said, like, this person's my girlfriend. We've met people, had breakfast and dinner, whatever, and talked to them. I've never indicated to them, like, me and my son been together. It's been 19 years. That's just not how that works. And I think it's very important to realize that at some point, your children are going to get married and someone else is going to be the priority.
Right.
Do they love you?
Absolutely.
Are they going to still be a big part of your life? Yes. Maybe not the same way.
Right.
But you're not allowing him to grow this way. And I was kind of something in the back of my head is like, did he want to get married so that he could feel like he was an adult? Because when he talks to his mom, he feels like he's still the child. Because she starts crying, which to me is a form of manipulating.
No, it's not a form. It was manipulation. Okay. It was straight witchcraft manipulation.
And so now he's like, I done hurt my mom. She is an adult, and guess what? It's time for her to realize that the relationship has to change.
He's 29 years old. It's not like he's just going off to high school, going off to college, right? There's a grieving process as parents, not grieving crying, but there's a process that happens.
Yeah, they're not a child anymore.
Right. When you realize,
they have to make adult decisions. Right.
So he's 29. He days away from 30. I mean,
days away.
And she acting like he has just stabbed her in her chest.
Like he was not going to talk to her anymore. And this is the thing. He did it with putting it all on his fiancé.
Shai.
He didn't put it like, you know what, Mom? I love you. I appreciate you. I'm not saying I'm not going to call you every day. But I am saying that
our relationship is about to shift.
Our relationship is about to shift. And sometimes I might call Shai and I'm going to share with Shai. And you may not know until we have a family dinner.
Yep.
You may not know all the details of my life as much, He going
to have to start weaning his mother. Call her every other day. Listen.
He doesn't even have to stop calling her every day. That's the thing.
No, I'm saying for him to kind of establish some boundaries, for him to shift that relationship, he's probably going to have to change his pattern of how they communicate. He's going to have to not call her every day because that just enmeshes that thing even more. So now he's going to speak more. If he continues that, he's speaking still more to her, and now has not put that boundary that says that Shai is his priority.
Yeah, because even he said, well, this is a good time for us to work on that because while I'm engaged, it should happen now so that when we get married, it's already set.
Yes.
So he did make one statement that was in reality of it.
Yeah. But then she snapped that umbilical cord and kicked some other knowledge back into him. So yeah, Mom runs off. She feels betrayed and pushed aside. And then the aunts are like, oh, we got to pray.
Well, at first they didn't know what was wrong.
Right. They didn't know what was going on.
They didn't know what's going on.
They were like, we don't know what happened with the conversation. But then evidently the mom tells them that like, we got to call on Jesus.
Well.
Fix it, Jesus.
Jesus going to fix it because didn't Jesus tell his parents? He said, woman,
I must be about my Father's business.
I got to be about my Father's business.
And don't the scriptures say a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife? He leaving.
He said leaving. He's trying. He's trying to leave. He is trying to leave. And guess what? It's going to be okay. What you should have been concerned about is him becoming a police officer. Because I would definitely have cried over that.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah.
Yeah. So they now go to dinner and they bring up the conversation again with the mom. And the mom, in my opinion, twists the conversation. And he assists in the twisting because, again, they're putting all of the onus on Shai. That it's what Shai needs and Shai needs to have this. And basically it's almost like he again is not taking responsibility for how he needs to have this relationship.
He doesn't see it. He doesn't see that if he continues to have the relationship he currently has with his mother and doesn't allow Shai in, he won't have Shai or any other good relationship with the women
at all.
When you have something that can be toxic with your mother.
Yeah. So, but what was surprising to me is that other folks at the table was co-signing alongside the mama.
Yeah.
They were like, we only got our parents for so long. I get that. Listen, I completely understand that and honor that. But I can't put my marriage or my relationship on hold until my parent passes away. That doesn't make sense. And that's essentially what they're trying to say is that, you got to just kind of kowtow. You just kind of bend to what your mom wants to satisfy her.
I don't understand that.
I ain't get it either. So.
And it didn't look like Shai mom got it either.
No.
She was like, what?
Yeah. So then a little later, Shai is like, yeah, I think we need to go ahead and push this wedding back. We need to, because I need to know who you are, because I don't.
Obviously, I don't know what's going on with you and your mother. I don't know how far this relationship goes.
Yep.
And if I'm not going to be put first, and you keep trying to blame this on me, talking about you have a tight relationship with my sister, but I don't tell my twin sister everything.
Right.
So don't even come that way.
Yeah, he tries to draw a serious false equivalency.
Because I know we're going to talk about Tracy meeting back up with them, but it's just like, she's like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And for him, and he don't even believe it. I was like, okay, so again, I'm trying to tell you something that I'm sharing everything with you. And just because you don't believe that I have a respectful boundary relationship with my relative that I was in the womb with. Right. Now, me and her have been together.
For more than 24 years. It's been 24 years and 9 months.
Right. In the room together.
They've been hanging out.
We've been hanging out. And you're going to tell me, compared to you being a child and then now you're an adult and you're 29, there's a big difference.
Yeah. So then day 3, final session, they meet back up with Tracy, and she recaps their meeting with the producer. Again, talks about the feedback they got, what have you. He talks about his meeting with his mom. And basically, Tracy is like, Shai needs to be the primary attachment, and she's not. And that's where, again, he brings up this false equivalency of, your sister, you talk with your sister all the time. And he keeps pointing to that. And Tracy's like, hold on, you're getting a little aggressive about this. This is a pain point for you. So it's not even that you see that this needs to change. You're defending this, and you're putting a boundary around this relationship and saying nothing about this has to change. And that's a problem.
And what is it?
Yeah.
What is it that you feel like you're getting from your mother that you're not going to find in your significant other?
Right.
They are two different relationships.
Yep.
And so, yes, that person may have been there for you, supported your dreams, but now you're saying, I want to find someone to be my wife.
Right.
And that intimacy is on a deeper and a different level.
Absolutely.
Than the intimacy you have with a parent.
Yep.
And if someone has breaking that boundary, there's something that is not correct. Mm-hmm. There should be a boundary that you're my mom, I love you, and that I can talk to you, but there's some things that I have to be able to share and be connected and bound with my wife. Mm-hmm. And it has to start sometime.
So might as well start now.
It might as well start now. Because if not, he will not be able to have an opportunity to have a very good relationship with the wife that he wants to have.
Right. She's going to have to be made first in the relationship. Period. I mean, for them to have any hope of surviving, he's going to have to make that adjustment. And he's the only one that can make that. The mom can't even make that adjustment.
No.
He has to make that adjustment.
And where's her husband? Where's his dad? because I'm like, there's some boundaries. You don't talk to your dad all day. Do you talk to your dad? Where is the relationship there? We never heard about it. We don't know what that looks
and
like.
May have said, I can't remember anything being said about the dad.
No, I don't remember anything, recall anything.
Let us know if we missed it, but yeah.
Yeah, but Tracy was very clear. Like, whatever's this weaving in with your mom, something has to change.
Yep.
And I have to agree with her. Because it doesn't from my ears, and obviously I don't know their family, I don't know, but it doesn't sound healthy.
No.
At all. Mm-mm. And she's the life coach.
Yep. So they get to now whether or not they'll have a blessing ceremony, and Shai is like, no need for it. We see y'all's point, or excuse me, she sees the points. Because let me know what you thought, because I think that he was given a hostage video statement when they were doing their little thing. He's like, yes, we're going to hold off and we're not going to do anything right now. It felt like hostage video, like they were feeding him those lines just because he did not. He wanted to still get married, I believe. I still believe he still wants to get married now.
Yeah, because again, this is my perception, right? Mm-hmm. When you feel like a child in one relationship, you want to feel like an adult in another relationship.
Yep.
But there has to become a point when you have a relationship with your parents, you're now eye to eye as an adult. Yep. I have high respect for my parents when I speak to them. But when they speak to me, I'm not 5 anymore. I'm not a 10-year-old.
Nope.
I'm a 47-year-old woman speaking to my older parents with the highest respect.
Yep.
But I'm not a child.
No. And like I said, I do fault also. I fault him for allowing it to continue this way, but I also, I fault the mom. I appreciate my mom. When I first went away to college and what have you, my mom, we had a conversation. She's like, okay, talk to me as an adult. What did I do well? What could I improve in? What have you? So we had an adult conversation early on that set the tone for my 20s, 30s, and even now as, the age I am right now. Mm-hmm. So there's never been any question of, yes, I'm still her son, but I'm her adult son. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah,
so, they told him, like, hey, we hear what you're saying. It's too soon. We need to hold off. She said, I still want to marry him. And I hear you. You do want to still marry him. But you can't negate the fact that there's some really major issues. Yeah. And some things that needs to be resolved for you guys to really move forward, That's why I'm always concerned, they say engagement, but moving in too fast. Again, you're compatible, but that doesn't mean you need to move in.
Right.
Let's get to know each other. But now you're already at that point.
Yep.
You've already in some senses, yes, there's no commitment in the records, in the court records, but in some senses they've already joined together and became a union in a sense. And they have a family. Mm-hmm. Just granted, it's not in paper. Right. There's nothing they would have to sign to, say this relationship is over. Mm-hmm. But they have become a union.
Yeah.
And so even looking at the fact they're at this place, if they don't take the time to really get counseling, if he doesn't realize that the relationship with his mom is not as solid as he thinks it is, because the way it is formed, then either she's going to make a decision to deal with that, or she's going to move on.
Yeah. So they do say that as far as like the end scene or end credits, whatever, they are still working on their relationship. They are talking about getting married now 2 years from now. And he's working to make her his priority. So we'll see.
I wish him well.
I mean, we won't see, but
we won't see.
We do hope that it does work out for them. But they have some challenges that they need to work through.
Exactly.
All right. So listen, that's it for this one. By the way, if you made it to this point and you have not hit the like button, what's wrong with you?
Oh.
I mean,
you liked it.
You like it? Just go ahead and hit the like now. It's okay. You can do it. We'll take it. And then consider again becoming a member. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you all next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.